Hello and welcome, dear students. I, Hina Kausar, welcome you again for the today's session. Today we are going to start the new paper, that is the social construction of childhood. From this paper today, I have taken the topic that is childhood. So today we are going to learn more about childhood through meaning and definition. The paper Social Construction of Childhood, from that Unit 1, Meaning of Childhood and Socialization. In that there are the four sub-points or sub-theme: defining childhood, functionalist, interpretive, theoretical, constructivist and deterministic model. Second, socialization and childhood. Third, challenges in the process of socialization of children. And fourth, moving beyond socialization. So let's begin the first point, that is childhood. The question is, who is a child? Whenever we think of a child or a group of children, we invariably think of somebody young. The Oxford Dictionary gives different meanings of the word child, such as young human being below the age of puberty or below the legal age of majority, or a son or a daughter of any age. The dictionary also gives a definition of a child as an immature or irresponsible person. Child and childhood is a lived experience for us. We were all children and we have our memories associated with it. We'll see some definitions connected with the childhood. First, Philip Aris, 1960. Historical sociology of childhood defines childhood is a social construction that did not exist in the same form in medieval Europe. Children were seen as miniature adults without a distinct phase of life. It is argued that the modern idea of childhood emerged only in the 17th century, shaped by changes in family, education, and societal institutions. To brief this particular slide, we can say that and we can conclude that in every stage of the society, the process of um, social construction of childhood differs. And that is what the thinker again saying, that the social construction word, where the childhood is socially constructed, which is not naturally coming out, and it is differing according to the different phases of life in the society. Second definition by Allison James and Alan Pratt, 1990, from New Sociology of Childhood, defines childhood should be understood as a socially constructed category, not just a natural biological stage. So according to a particular definition, we can say that the thinker has emphasized that children are active social agents who contribute to shaping their own lives rather than being passive recipient of socialization. We'll go to the next definition, that is Jane Piaget, developmental psychology with sociological relevance, defines childhood is a stage-based cognitive development process where children pass through distinct phases of learning and understanding. So according to this definition, we can say that though Piaget was a psychologist, his stages of development, that is sensory, motor, pre-operational, etc., influenced sociologists studying how children's thinking and social behavior evolve. We'll see one more definition by Neil Postman, 1994. Disappearance of childhood defines Childhood is a modern invention that is gradually disappearing due to the blurring boundaries between adults and children, especially via media and technology. Postman argued that the rise of mass media erodes the information gap between children and adults, thereby undermining the concept of childhood. Through this slide, we're going to start that how this age is very important. You can see from the image also that the different age kids drawing I am presenting in front of you, that is age is an important distinguishing factor between a child and adult. After birth, the early years of a person's life are childhood years. Further, laws of the land fixes or determines the age by which the child legally becomes into an adult. This age cutoff between a child and adult is based on biological and psychological aspects of human development and the process of maturity. Across the world, including India, for most purposes, all young persons in the age group of 0 to 18 years would be legally considered a child. The Old English word for child is child, meaning fetus, infant, unborn, or newly born person. The meaning further expanded to a young person before the onset of puberty in late Old English. According to Article 1 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Child, CRC, a child means every human being below the age of 18 years, unless under the law applicable to the child, majority is attained earlier. Age plays a significant role in our understanding of a child as it is the age that determines special provisions and priority areas. For the growing child, certain services have to be provided in a timely manner and on priority. Thus, there are specific programs in areas such as immunization, nutrition, and education. Age also determines the need for protective measures till a certain period, such as juvenile justice, implementation of child rights, and prohibition of child marriage. The age or lack of attainment of a certain age also prohibits children from engaging in certain hazard related activities, that is smoking, drinking, watching adult movies, certain kinds of child labor, etc. In the political arena, age determines the voting rights of children. Next point is the image of a child. As I have presented you one image of, you can find the different emotions being portrayed by these kids, actually giving you one image. So from this we can say that along with the age factor, which is biological in nature, we also have an image or notion of a child in our mind. Generally, children are viewed as growing, innocent, or helpless. They could be also being viewed as naughty, mischievous, carefree, or obedient, as you can see in the image for your reference. These images or notion can be linked to the characteristics or behavior that we observe in children and or the impressions that we may have formed of children. They could also be based on our own childhood experiences. As Schaeffer's 2004-20 comments, we were all children ourselves, and how we see childhood inevitably expresses something about ourselves. While we may use concepts such as child and adult, our expectation from a child also is determined by societal norms of child and childhood and the expected behavior from a child. For any behavior which is not considered childlike and does not quite fit with the notion of a child and yet demonstrated or expressed by a child, we are sometimes left wondering about our approach in such situations. So, students, this is all about the meaning and the definition of child, which I have covered today. What exactly the child you mean by the word child? Okay, in the next session, we will learn more about the approaches and the nature of childhood. Thank you so much for attending my session and be there for my next session. Thank you. Bye. Take care.